Hey, my guess is you're a worm farmer, a gardener, or a coffee aficionado like me. You're here to learn about what I'm doing with the coffee grounds, and I'm going to show you something. Chances are you've already been using coffee grounds, but I'm going to show you a way to supercharge them, to basically make them better for your garden, better for your worms, better for your castings, your soil, something that's going to really improve the process. Let's go do it. Okay, now we need more coffee grounds. Let's go get some. So I just brought home about 60 pounds of coffee grounds. But before we can use them for the garden or the worms, they need to be composted or inoculated in a way that the garden and the worms can use them. Hey folks, if you've been keeping worms for a while, you've probably heard all about the benefits of adding coffee grounds to your worms as a food and nutrient supplement. And I'm going to show you today how to get the maximum benefit out of doing that, because believe it or not, you may have been doing it in a less effective way. Let me show you what I'm talking about. From the pot, like you saw in the little intro video, those coffee grounds have just gone through, what is it, like 195 to 205 degree water. Those grounds, when they come out of there, are pretty much sterile. And that's why you've probably seen, or I'm going to tell you what I've seen anyway. When I used to add the coffee grounds, the worms would avoid them. They wouldn't eat them. And the reason why is because they were sterile. There was nothing there for the worms to eat. So first, the bacteria has to get to them. Now, these are worm castings right here, and this is going to be the first step of inoculating, if you will, these worm castings so that they'll be the most beneficial to your worms and to eventually your castings. Now, coffee grounds are a great food source. They contain, you name it, the whole NPK, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, trace minerals, pretty much everything that's out there. But all of that is all great, but if the plants can't use it, and if the worms can't use it, and if the worms can't pass it on to the castings, then it's nothing. So let me show you what I do. Now, the first thing, like with anything with coffee grounds and worms, you're going to need a little moisture. Not a lot. All we want to do is allow those little bacteria things a way to get around, and water is what does it. Now we're going to add actual, real bacteria in all the biology. This is castings from another worm bin, and we're just going to sprinkle that on the top. Now immediately, I think all those little bacteria are going, woohoo, we have food! And they're going to start going down. This is my sifted cow manure. All the gunk has been taken out of it. It's pretty much just bacteria and carbon. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to add a little bit of that onto here too, to again allow the bacteria to eat this and then go down, multiply. They're going to multiply from eating and then head down into the coffee grounds. And then probably the most important part of the whole deal, these are coffee grounds that I have sitting in a big bucket. And you can see, hopefully, looks like a blue-green mold growing on there. Well, yeah, and that bacteria is chowing down on that. So we're going to take some of this. We don't need a lot. We just need enough to basically, I'm probably adding billions, if not trillions, of bacteria with everything I put in here right now. But they're going to go down into these coffee grounds and break the coffee grounds enough so that when I add this coffee grounds to my worms, they're not going to avoid it. They're going to jump right on it and be able to utilize it right away. And I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you just pour plain coffee grounds thick on your worm bins, they'll turn hard and crusty. Well, we all know worms don't like hard and crusty. Worms like moist, somewhat warm, about the same temperature we like it at. The bacteria can move around in the moisture. The worms can move around in the moisture. And adding the moisture is going to allow everybody to populate. Oh, there was also a study done that talks about how coffee grounds, I think they believe it's because of the high nutrient quality, all the minerals and all that, actually help the worms to reproduce better. They do just fine on their own, but if we can get our worms to reproduce a little faster, well, we're going to have all those great castings a little bit faster. So now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put it in a dark, in fact, I'll probably put a sheet of paper on the top of this, but in a dark place for a day. Actually, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now. By 1 o'clock tomorrow, that green mold is going to be all over the top of this. Then what I'll do is I'll mix it all up together, and Thursday is feeding day. So I'll have, well, wait a minute. Tuesday will be dry feeding day, and I will be adding this during the dry feeding. Folks, I hope you got a little bit of some kind of information. Maybe you can take what you think is useful and use it, or whatever. But this is how I do it. Again, like with all my videos, it's not a how-to do, it's a how I do. And like I always say in all my videos, yeah, I go overboard. I'm like Jim, the overboard worm farmer. I try to take everything to the best level that I possibly can. Again, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more farming videos and worm videos and pretty soon honeybee videos. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.